Captain's Log, episode 115. This episode of the Beer Vengers podcast is sponsored by the Beer and Cheese Collective, located at 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens. Now accepting applications for their Cheese of the Month Club, starting as low as $75 a month. Enjoy their eclectic array of craft beer, artisanal cheeses, and specialty grocery items at the Beer and Cheese Collective. Home bar to yours truly, Captain Porter Brown Stout. On this 7-pour installment, Captain Huck and Beer Wonder welcome back Dr. Bruce Beernerd, sometimes the incredulous Bulk, for his 7th appearance on the show to celebrate the in-person coming together of the Beer Vengers on April 18th, 2026 for the Dayton Golden Mile, an epic 12-hour pub crawl through downtown Dayton, Ohio, and to compare notes as to what we actually recall about it. Ordinarily, I'd point out here that we talk about other stuff too, but this one is mostly the mile. Remember to like, star, and subscribe whenever that feels appropriate. And send us your emails at thebeervengers@gmail.com if you have any questions, suggestions, or if you just like hearing us talk about you on the show. And now, without further ado, please enjoy episode 115, Joining the Golden Mile High Club.
We're the Beer Vengers, Beer Vengers, Beer Vengers.
We're the Beer Vengers.
Welcome to the Beercast, everyone. Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Astoria, Queens, this is Captain Porter Brown Stout.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in the Central Valley of California, this is the Pale Male Hophead Huck.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in the County of Kings, why, it is I, the Beer Wonder.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location near a military base near Dayton, Ohio, it is I, Dr. Bruce Beernerd, sometime the incredulous Bulk.
And we are...
Guys,
I think Zoom technology has caught up to us at this point.
I know. We also don't harmonize in public nearly as much as we should.
Very true, yeah. And when we do, we're singing in unison most of the time, aren't we?
I know. I mean, here's the thing. We've proven that we do harmony. We do Gregorian chant. We've done all versions of this, and yet we only keep it to the Beercast. We need to take the show on the road, y'all.
Heck yeah.
Yes. Which, spoiler, we just did. We were out on the road, and that is why it's always wonderful to have the incredulous Bulk, Dr. Beernerd, here. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
This is let me look at it. 1, 2, 3. This is your 7th appearance on the show.
Wow.
Has
I'd forgotten at least one.
Has he beat Nutpool? I mean, say what you will about Nutpool, but
hey, it's honestly been so long since we've had Nutpool on. Earlier today, when I was sending out emails to you guys about setting this whole thing up, my Gmail actually, this is a true story, asked me if I meant to invite Brandon as well. Nutpool, I should say.
And you rightly said no.
Exactly. I said no. I meant that other name that starts with a BR.
Yes,
that's what it looked like.
The Globe Hopper would probably have the most.
He might actually, yeah.
It's possible, yeah. I didn't. Yeah.
But when the Bulk comes, it's always a good time.
Always.
It is. And the reason the Bulk is here specifically now is because we just got back from doing the Dayton Golden Mile, and we want to tell you all about it, what that is, because I think some of you might need a refresher course. We haven't talked about it on the show in detail in a few years, so we're going to do that. But before we do that, I think it's time to get to the pours, right?
Absolutely.
Heck yes. And if I may, I think it would only be polite to have our guest, Dr. Bruce Beernerd, go first.
All right, I guess we don't need you anymore, Beer Wonder. Yeah.
This is a moment of growth. My heart has grown 4 sizes in this moment. Bulk, please start us off.
Following my beer theme of the night with things I found that I already had while preparing for the Golden Mile, this is a remaining holiday ale from a local brewery, Warped Wing. It's a spiced lager, not terribly aggressive, not all that... it's not all that Christmassy, and I'm not a huge one to be bound by seasonal styles. So I've been so long I can't remember. We open one at a time, but only drink together. Yes.
Well, you can have some sips before that, but we open one at a time, and then we will all drink together.
Yes.
Those things aren't
There
mutually
we go.
exclusive, I don't think.
All right, time for the pour.
But we don't want to see it go into the glass. Yeah,
I
hold it up a
know.
little higher.
Yep.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, gorgeous. Nice.
Very pretty.
It's got a good color to it.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah.
looks holiday-ish, at least to my eye.
Yeah, it picks up some color from the cinnamon and a tiny bit of clove, which is the right amount, I feel. In
Now,
the beer.
but when
And,
you have a beer,
hold it up there with so we can see the bottle, the
we
can,
get some
and
light-
and the glass together.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold that next to so we can get a good.
Little
Oh, very
modeling.
pretty.
excellent.
Nice.
Excellent.
All
Now
right.
you cinnamon and clove. Okay, noted. Good for. I'll remember that for later.
Well, I think to salute Huck's moment of growth, I think he gets to go next.
I
What do
agree.
you say, Beer Wonder?
I
All
do.
right.
I do. Growth is good. We like growth.
Well, that's great because guess what? We're going to take a trip.
To the Pale Males Ale Jail. The Pale Males Ale Jail. The beer goes in the fridge with the white wine. It won't come out till it's done its time in the Pale Males Ale Jail. Pale Males Ale Jail.
Nice.
Not the cleanest version,
Nice.
but
I mean, but here, look. When you're on a journey, many things happen on that journey when you're going to the Pale Males Ale Jail. So you know you have to.
Many
We have to
things
be
Or as we
accepting
call
of
it, the
those.
PMAG.
the P head to the P match today. Pale Males Ale Gel being the Hophead Hucks beer cellar. We're going deep.
Ooh.
We're going to get this beauty here. This is called Midnight Supreme.
Ooh.
It
It's
is
open
from
24 our
friends
hours.
at Alvarado Street Brewing, Imperial Stout with cacao and vanilla. So let's
Ah.
You're
and
not kidding around. Wow.
the date on here is March 5th, 2025.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's been aging.
Yeah, it's done its time.
I really like the can art there.
It has done its time, and I've had this beer before, but I had it when it was fresh. So let's see
Okay.
what we got going on. Well, it's got carbonation.
Okay. We
Yes, it
love a
does.
buzz, and it is. She's dark for the pale male in his ale jail.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
doing a little decaf stand, the stout drinking man today.
I think so. Yeah. Well, you do have you contain multitudes, Huck.
Very, very pretty.
there
Very
we
nice.
go. All right, look forward to trying that.
Well,
All
Captain,
right. Yeah.
I'm
Ooh,
seeing the
smells
growth
good.
all over the place, and I also feel like I should be growing and
Yeah.
increasing my capacity for politeness. So I do feel like you should go next.
Well, I would certainly not want to insult you by declining that generous offer. So
Thank you.
I am going to move along here with a.
Sponsored pour.
No
Right, this
way.
is sponsored pour from the Beer and Cheese Collective, 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard. This looks like kind of a challenge for me, but I'm looking forward to keeping my open mind for it. So this is from our friends at Abomination. I've had a lot of stuff from them before, and the can I first saw it like, oh, this is another midnight snack. No, this is something else, but in that same region. It's called the Sticky Oven.
Oh,
This
I
is
see I get the image. Yeah.
Yeah.
so this is an Imperial Brown.
Okay.
Mhm.
With its theme is peanut butter, banana, and marshmallow pie.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So again,
Oh,
not
boy.
not all my favorite usual flavors, but I really want to see how they've never disappointed me before. So I'm going to try it here. Oh, by the way, this is nowhere close to. This is an Imperial Brown. It's just 7%. So there
Okay.
we go.
Oh.
Oh, I can see that brown. Yeah. Nice lively head,
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
there
jumping
we
right
are.
out of the can.
fluffy like a marshmallow.
Absolutely.
There you
So
go.
there it is.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, you've waited very patiently, Beer Wonder. I think it's
I-
your turn now.
Oh, thank you. Growth for everybody today. Well, to the shock of everyone, I will be having a.
Sponsored pour.
Of course, a sponsored pour from the same place,
I
Beer
know.
and Cheese
And, here-
Collective. What do you?
and,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. It's been a real dark journey with all of you guys today.
Okay.
I'll be honest. It's been very, 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 very deep and dark. And so I wanted to still keep it going, keep some intensity going. But instead of taking it deep and dark, I decided to keep it nice and hot. I've got the Imperial Jack Hot from our friends at Fat Orange Cat. Excuse me. And so this is an Imperial Ale with jalapenos.
Oh,
which-
snap.
which does
Very
harken back
nice.
a little bit to some of the adventuring we had on the mile, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
did enjoy a nice spicy brew while we were out there. I believe at Dayton, if I recall, Big
Yeah.
Dayton Beer Company. But let's take a look at how they make it with Fat Orange Cats.
Ooh. Very lovely and bright.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an IPA.
It's a imperial ale, so only 8%,
Oh,
but not. So
okay.
we'll see. But it is. It's definitely got a good head on there, and the good head retentions, and a little cloudy. So I'm excited to see how much of that is the jalapeno.
Excellent. Well, I think the time has come. Raise a glass. Cheers, Vengers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Avengers, indeed. Oh, can't wait to get a hold of this.
Woo! Ooh!
Oh my God.
Oh, she's hot.
Oh, yeah.
Is it spicy?
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Just hit right at the beginning. You know how those spicy ones sometimes hit you at the end?
Yeah.
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 This one starts with the spice. Like, my lips are burning. It is a delightful beer, a little sweet, but definitely spicy. It does taste like someone kind of like crushed a jalapeno into my drink. I enjoy a spicy beer, so I am loving this. But if you are a person who does not like a spicy beer, this one stings you right up front. I love
Oh,
it.
Beer Wonder, I got to be honest with you. When the provider was getting those beers for us, she asked how you were with spice, and I remembered that one we got from Vermont. And you seemed to. The second I said, "Do you like spice?" You said, "I'm all for it." So since you like that one, I figured, well, you're worth a shot on this one too.
Oh yeah, burn baby burn. Oh, it's now the lips. It's now all the way down the throat. Like, we are living our very best life here. If you like spicy, get this beer. You will love it.
Cool.
I was just looking it up. I gotta say, this Midnight Supreme, I did have it a year ago. Loved it so much. I don't know if it's lost anything, but it's just has a rich. The cacao just really comes through strong, and it's sort of cut a little by the vanilla. So I think, and I also warmed it a little bit, not too much. I had it out of the fridge for 15 minutes or something. So it's really delicious. A year later, something is. It's a little bit different. It's not boozy at all. It's 9%. That's kind of what I loved about it originally, was that it's so strong, but you don't get that booziness. Yeah, it's just delicious. I think maybe a little bit of the flavor has faded, but kind of in a decent way. Like, it's just it's like it feels like, honestly, that it's been aged. And I don't know if it's gone up in alcohol, probably not. But yeah, it's still a killer. Midnight Supreme is a winner.
Very good. How is your aged beer, Doctor?
Very, very nice. No change from the in flavor from the age. What I like about it, I think, is contrast to most holidays, being a holiday lager, they really didn't lean into sweet. So it's just got, like, little touch of the cinnamon and clove, as mentioned earlier. It's very pleasant. Not something you'd want for a thirst quencher on a hot day. It is,
Right.
full of those spicy flavors, but.
Yeah, it's interesting. I similar with mine. I was a little nervous because I've never been a huge fan of bananas and peanut butter in beer. It can go if it goes too heavy, it can go too much. But this is both the peanut butter and banana are fairly subtle. I barely taste the banana, and it is also, for something with marshmallow in it, it's not overly sweet at all. It's a really nice drinkable beer. It still might not be my first choice, but I really like it a lot. I don't get enough browns. Brown is part of my name there, but I don't always see a lot of them. But this is a very good one. In fact, there might be a theme of browns going forward on this episode, maybe even the next one. But yeah, this is really nice. I like it.
Right on. And we used to have a thing, Doctor, where we had a lack of Connecticut beers on the show. And now it's like, it's Connecticut City over here.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Had a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the best distributors that they have at Beer and Cheese Collective is 12%, which is out of Connecticut.
Right.
And so that's why not only do we have a lot of Connecticut, but specifically Fat Orange Cat and Abomination are from that same distributor. So,
Right.
and I never get tired of it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get either of those in Ohio. I'm sure fans of the show will know that the distribution system in the United States is very strange, and state by state rules. Ohio is particularly fussy about letting beers come in. So,
yeah,
But
this
it's
is a
been my
small enough one.
experience, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say this might be one that it might not even have distribution to anywhere in that region of the country. It's a fairly small brewery too. Go ahead, Mike. Pat, Huck.
I was gonna say. That Ohio has a excellent selection of craft breweries themselves. So why would you need anywhere else?
thank you. I mean, we are doing pretty well. I am not hurting for choice for sure.
And I know this because I was just there.
Now you've been introducing me to Ohio beers at least going back to 2009, 2010. And it was funny, that was right around the time Ohio was finally starting to catch up. Because it seemed like I mentioned this on the show before, I think, but it bears repeating. It seems like when the craft beer movement started, some states realized earlier than others that, we need to change all of our distribution laws so this business can thrive. And I think Michigan hit the ground running with it. And that may be one of the things that inspired the Ohio legislation to say, like, we can't let them beat us. We need to have these same opportunities here. And it's delivered beautifully. In fact, it's gone so well, which is how something like the event we all just came back from that you hosted, the Golden Mile, Dayton Golden Mile 2026, with 12 stops in 12 hours. We've been talking for the last few months about how we're going back to it, but even though we've talked about it extensively on this show, I realized that with I believe, let me see if I got the number right again. Yeah, with your previous 6 appearances on the show, at least some of them very dedicated to the Golden Mile. The last time you were on here was back in October of 2023, and that wasn't even really Golden Mile specific. So I think that we should refresh our audience's familiarity with the Golden Mile. So talk a little bit about how it all came to be and the history of it.
Certainly. Well, it is inspired by the film The World's End, the last part of the Cornetto trilogy. Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. Really just an enormously fun movie. Recommend it enormously. And whilst watching it at home with the family, at the end of the movie, which has a central challenge in which these high school friends have gotten back together to do the Golden Mile of their village of Newton Haven, one pint in each of the 12 historic alehouses, they discover that the town is the launch point for an alien invasion of Earth, and they must repel the invasion while not missing any pubs or pints. So really, really fun premise. And
also a metaphor for how when you try and go home again, things don't always seem the same.
Yes, there's several reasons why maybe it's not the best idea to have done this. Simon Pegg is not the hero of this film. Protagonist, possibly, but definitely not your favorite person.
He goes on a journey.
Yes. So we watched it, and at the end, my son, Leo, while credits are rolling, looks at me and says, I think you could do that in Dayton.
Ooh.
And we did some quick counting on fingers.
How old was Leo at the time?
He was 17, so he could not go, but he was, very much aware that I enjoyed local beer, and we talked about it a lot, and went to a couple of local pubs, including the Fifth Street Brew Pub, which we'll return to regularly. And so he was just kind of aware that there's this scene, and could we do it? Could we walk from place to place in our downtown? So, quick counting on fingers, and realized, yes, we could. A little bit of extra planning, contacting a few friends. Would you be interested? One of whom said, I had the same idea after watching The World's End. So it was on. My sons could not go with us that year, but it was fairly well received.
And so, what was the first year that you actually did it?
First Golden Mile was in 2015,
Okay.
and we were annual for a good long while there. Then life and other events kind of got in the way. It got a little disorganized. There was a thing in 2020 that interfered with a bunch of stuff in public, and
It's
I
weird.
forget what that
Yes,
was, but we did it
but
virtually then.
that
So
virtual one was kind of fun. I remember
it
because it
was.
lasted about a month, and we would all just post pictures of the beers we were having, and it wasn't as fun as being together, but it was a nice little alternative.
I'm glad we did something. And in 2021, with the remnants of pandemic influence, was the first time we formally introduced the crazy straws, which are an element from the film. Um, you have to do something.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's been a grand time, and I've had made new friends, had a lot of fun hanging out with old friends, going to new places, and really celebrating the beer community that is here in Dayton.
Yeah, it's fun. And if anyone wants to hear an accounting of that one that happened in 2021, that is episode 65. When
Mark it down.
yes, I went on there for that, and I may later list all the other ones you were on, but in case people like to do a deep dive and get all the information. But yeah, that one was a whole lot of fun, and this one was a whole lot of fun. Aside from the one year where it really went differently, when we had to do it all virtually, how has it changed? How has it improved over the years?
Say biggest change has been keeping up with availability and suitability of venues. Principle has always been that we want to go to as many actual breweries as we can, and then next tier is very beer focused bars. Um, there are actually 7 breweries in the city limits of Dayton, but one of them is far enough outside that a walk to it or from it's just not practical. That's the Carillon Historical Brewery. Recommend that to anyone who happens to be in Dayton. All of the Beer Avengers got to have dinner there the night before the Golden Mile.
That was fun, yeah.
And I'd love to hear your reactions to that, actually. I think that was because it is authentic. Oh, gosh. Somebody read the date while we were there. I forget it every time. Late 1800s brewing technology. Wood-fired, no thermometers. You're just brewing by the seat of your pants and the craft that you've got internally.
And their craft is very good there. Yeah.
So, but the remaining 6 we were able to include in every mile, and sometimes that leads to some interesting route planning, especially recognizing that one of us are getting younger and we walk from stop to stop. That's another important element.
That is true.
It carries from the film, but totally apart from, we certainly don't want to be encouraging people to drive after their 6th beer. Being on foot in the city is something that we've seen increasingly popular in Dayton, coincidentally, at the Golden Mile. I don't think we're leading anyone, but it's been really nice to see people who wouldn't necessarily get used to that come on the Golden Mile and go, yeah, I could walk around. I could do things on foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is funny. I know Huck is very fond of planning crawls. In fact, you've inspired him to try and figure out some of the 12-hour ones because he's never done one that long. But I wonder if the two of you have any pointers you want to share with the rest of us about just generally. You mentioned being able to walk through it. Do you have any other things you think you should add there, Huck, as far as what's important in planning a crawl?
Yeah, I think that's, exactly what the doctor was saying. Breweries, of course, the top priority, then beer-centered places. And then, if you need connectors because of the walking,
That's true.
you could find some nice dive, to have a bush light in on the way. Not that I would have a bush light, but, yeah, I think... Because the doctor did.
Well, it's already the status. I'd have a PBR if absolutely necessary.
There you go.
Sure,
that's just me.
Yeah, so I
Only a few of you.
Now have developed a Golden Mile for Brooklyn and Las Vegas and Boston. So these are imaginary, but in Boston I can only come up with 11 because Boston closes early. I don't know if you've tried to drink beer in Boston, but
what time do the bars close in Boston? Not midnight.
The breweries close at 10 or 11, but
sure.
So
bars,
is Is this one where it's 10 to 10? Like we start early?
I mean, I still had it starting at 12 in Boston, but then you just end at 11 rather than midnight. I think you get enough beers.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Well, yeah.
I had Please.
Go ahead. No. You had an idea.
I was saying I had an idea in Boston to go from Trillium to Trillium. Trillium Brewing is a craft brewery in Boston, and there's one in Fenway, and then there's one in Fort Point, and that would be the 12. But by the time you get to the 12th, they're already closed, you know.
Right.
But
Yeah,
like maybe you could start earlier, or I don't know, or just have 10 or something.
And Doctor, that was some of your challenges, right? With over the years, some of the places have changed their operating hours, so you had to really seriously rework the schedule this year because of that.
There was one in particular that we put in mid-course because the on the route to Little Fish, one of the breweries, although the Dayton station brews very little actually in-house. They're a satellite from Little Fish in Athens. Excellent beers, and I'm sure everyone will have a comment on that. But in order to get there, one of the best intervening stops didn't open until 4 p.m. So we kind of had to shuffle and get some stuff in ahead. So we didn't get there before they were ready for us. I would say that's another really good point. If you are planning a bar crawl, get in touch with the venues. The best way I've found actually to print up a fact sheet, go there on the same day of the week that your crawl will be, and pass it out. Say, we're going to be here in a couple weeks. Here's how you can contact me if you'd rather we didn't, or if we need special instructions, like everybody line up at one end of the bar, go to this special room. It really helps a lot for both the people on the crawl and, of course, the staff, so that they can be ready for. I think in our case, the most we had hitting one venue at a time was 31 or 32 this year.
Yeah, I was counting heads at the Yellow Cab. That was about the number. Yeah,
that's a lot of people to get a beer in an hour. So it's nice if they're ready for it.
Absolutely.
And also, I'm sure they're not mad about the payday and the tips on that. So.
Right. Well, I think that should go without saying, but just because it's a wide audience, no matter when you're out having a good time and having a beer, take care of your staff, tip your servers, all the usual things.
All the things.
So, absolutely.
Now, I also noticed, and I think we should mention sort of what the route was this year at some point, but one of the things that I thought that you did that was really smart on this crawl, and I'm curious where the intention is that while we were all having our wits about us, you had us walk further distances. And as we all got progressively more indulgent in our lives, the distances got smaller. And I'm curious how much of that was practicality, right? Because you wanted to start at a certain place, and then you were trying to get it closer, and also timing, but also how much of that was intentional.
Intentional luck and practicality, really, they all kind of played in there. We got lucky in that I was able, once giving up on the traditional last stop, which is Barrel House, a bottle shop and beer bar. Once deciding that didn't have to be the last stop, it opened up this prospect of these shorter and shorter routes toward the end, which I really like.
How often had Barrel House been the last stop? Like traditionally every time?
Every time except this time. And the reason for it is mostly because they have the invocation, the quotation from Bukowski, on a sign hanging in the bar. It's the first place I ever saw it. And I thought, well, that'd be a nice place to end. We can all see this verse that has partly inspired our spirit and call it a night. Also, they closed at midnight. So it's like, okay, we're done. We're really done. Everybody go home.
Yep, you have to be done, right?
Yeah. But the route, I think, worked very nicely, putting it where it was. So.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So now this year we had Fifth Street Brew Pub, Branch and Bone, Dublin Pub, Troll Pub, the Yellow Cab
also
Company,
known as Troll Pube.
Also known as Little Fish, Dayton Beer Company, Barrel House, Warped Wing, Blind Bob's, Lucky's, and Toxic. I'm curious, which of those were first timers?
Oh, good question.
So I can go through. Little Fish was the only.
Little Fish was the only first timer. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, and so of these, which are the more traditional? Which are the ones that have been living on the Golden Mile for years? Like what? So clearly the Barrel House, right? Which you have the invocation, so that's been your traditional ending place. But what are the other ones that were sort of like the standards that have been with this the whole time you've been doing it? And
Fifth
why?
Street and Branch and Bone as starters, and that is partly location. Fifth Street is the greatest outlier, and if you're going to walk into sort of central business district, Branch and Bone makes a lot of sense to get there and then pick it out from there. Dublin Pub has always been on. I don't know if it's always been third, because frankly,
I think there
it's
was
the
one year
pubbiest.
when I think there was one year when it was second. I think it was there one year when it was
Yeah,
second.
yes, that was, and it may have been before Branch and Bone opened.
Possibly, yeah, and. So Branch and Bone has been on every
Branch and
year
Bone was not
that
on the
they've
first
been
one.
able to be on. Right.
Yeah.
They just.
Yeah.
I think my first year was 2017. I think at that point, they may have just opened, and that was before you figured out to do the curve around because there was less doubling back that way.
Yes, and yeah, there are definitely mistakes and corrections every replanning. So Dublin Pub is largely because it looks most like the pubs in the World's End. It's a perfectly fine venue, but that's like, we can't miss this one. And if we want to have a pint in that looking glass in that wood paneled environment, this is the place. So
Yeah.
And I think at this point we should point out, if it's not clear, that Captain Porter Brown Stout is a native of Dayton, Ohio.
That is true.
Well, since I'm a pedantic fuck, I'm gonna push back on that a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
No, I was there from second grade up until, I think native means you were born there, right?
yes,
Well, yes, I suppose it.
Yeah.
does.
So I was born in
Son
in
of Dayton, we might say. Son of Dayton.
A son of Dayton.
It's where I think my roots are more than where I was born. But yeah, I was there from second grade until I was able to get out. But having said that, I've grown to appreciate many of the things about it, and the Golden Mile is one of the things. But yeah, yes, and the doctor and I met in 1986, or actually probably met in 1985. I think rehearsal started back then, but we met during a
Yes,
1986 production of Fiddler on the Roof that we were both in. And lost track of each other for a little while when I left town, and then Facebook happened, and that was one of the few, back when people were all people. I think what the people who had moved away from each other, Facebook dawning was a combination of like, oh, this is great. I wonder what's going on with this person, and like, oh fuck, this person is bothering me that I hope I never see again. Fortunately, we were in the former category.
entirely. Yeah, there's definitely quite a few of, what I found in that boom, more than people like, I hope I never hear from you again, was people like, hey, how are you? And then we realized that was it. That's all we could conceivably say to each other.
Yes,
and definitely
yes.
not the case with you and I. So
Right, yeah, we found each other around 2008, 2009, and yeah, it was so long before I started participating in the mile. I would be going back there, and we discovered that one of the things we didn't necessarily have in common back then, but we have both developed on our own, was a love of really good beer. And so every time I would go there, you got to go here, you got to go here, and we went a few many miles.
yes,
Yeah.
And the Golden Mile takes place generally in a neighborhood called the Oregon District, right?
Yes, that's
And
true.
it's just so cool. I mean, what a fun place, because I ran into a lot of people on the mile. I talk to strangers a lot.
Yes.
It's my thing. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Oh, the Golden Mile. And they're like, oh, where'd you come from? If I'm out in Fresno, California. You came to Dayton? Like, so many people would say that to me. Wait a minute, you came all the way from California? Which people say to me whenever I'm in Dayton, like when I'm in Fresno. Why did you go to Fresno? But
Yes.
yeah, I thought it was a really cool neighborhood and cool people on the mile, and a lot of fun. So never underestimate any place you can go to. I used to be a real snob when I was in New York, and I would see people that didn't live in New York City, and I'd be like, how does that work? How can you live? Is there a beach? Are you by the beach? No. Oh, well, what? And I would honestly have that attitude. So I think living in Fresno has made me a little more open to the rest of the world.
that response
As far
you
as
got
places to
is,
live.
that's Daytonians all over. When Wait, Don't Tell Me came here for the first time, Peter Sagal actually called us out from the stage. Like, all day long, we've been walking around and people have been asking, why'd you come here? Get over yourselves. This is a nice place. We had good restaurants, great conversations. What's wrong with you? Okay.
And
Good
yeah,
time for
that is a
art,
good point.
music,
And
yeah.
I would say that, you know, it is absolutely true that I spent most of my youth trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to live when I get to choose? But that says less about Dayton than it says about me. It wasn't necessarily a good fit. But I still enjoy going back there. And I mean, obviously to see you, and to go there on the Golden Mile. But yeah, I mean, I still don't want to move back there, but I certainly appreciate it more than when I lived there.
And it's not just time or distance, and it's not just you. I think it is a notably better place to be
Yep.
than
Yeah.
it was in our high school years. So,
Okay.
I think it's better than it was in 2010.
Yeah.
I think because it's funny because I moved away for the most part in the late 80s, early 90s, and I'd come back and visit my parents. But then for a while, I barely came back at all because my parents were just visiting me wherever I was. And so that, as long as we were seeing each other, didn't have to be in any one particular city.
Yeah.
And then I started going back in the early 2010s, and it seemed like it had gone downhill. And then I was mostly just like driving around and to places, neighborhoods that I found familiar, and seeing how many closed businesses there were. It was kind of a depressed time for Dayton, and I feel like not just the beer industry, but many other things that maybe I'm not as aware of, it seems to have gone upwards.
Yeah, and it is literally true that the craft beer renaissance helped as a significant driver for the downtown, particularly business community, and that it was a draw for people who didn't live there
Mm.
to come there
Mhm.
and do more than one thing in the way that, say, a sporting event probably isn't, right? You come in, you do the thing, you leave. So noticing that, wait, I didn't come here to go to that music venue, but there's that music venue. And the boost of retail, it's by no means perfect. I don't want to play it out that we've got it all knocked. We're definitely still losing business we can't afford to. And lest I just spiral off into the whole world is not doing a great thing right now.
Well, yeah.
But
It's a pretty typical story in a lot of cities. Yeah.
it's been a treat to watch it get to where it is now. So.
I mean, it was funny, but you're right about that natural self-deprecating notion about it as well. Because, I mean, I went to Denver for the Great American Beer Festival, and I never really heard anyone say, "Why are you in Denver?"
Yeah.
I mean, and it's objectively, yes, it's a larger city than Dayton, but it's all like, it sounds like more of a destination, even though when you spend some time in it, you know, I was there for that. And the same day I was there for the festival, a lot of people were coming into town because Paul McCartney was playing there. But
Oh.
beyond that, it was just like, okay, this is not that different from cities like Dayton.
Yeah.
Mhm. Just bigger. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and the earlier legal weed, so you know that was a draw for a while.
Well, yes. Another thing that Ohio eventually caught up with, although I understand there are some other people who are still trying to fuck up those rules.
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
hemp,
They're saying,
the
I
hemp
mean, the
situation
Rocky
was-
Mountains are also, but,
Yeah, they're pretty.
Well,
I
yeah.
guess I don't know. I imagine they're prettier if you're drunk and high.
yeah. That's it. That's my. I got to look at Denver now for Golden Mile.
Apparently, well, I bet. Here's the thing: Denver is a bit more of a car town, but it was nice that this was really walkable.
yeah.
And as we were
Oh,
stumbling
yeah.
along,
It
we
was
did
very walkable.
get a ton of good beers in there. I am curious if there were any real highlights for folks.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, I thought a lot of the places were. You know what I experienced in Ohio was a good lager scene, which in a lot of
Yeah.
places you. And I suppose that goes back to the German roots of the area and that tradition continuing. But yeah, some really good lagers in Ohio. But for me, there were two beers that stood out. One was we went to the Barrel House, which is the traditional last place. A very cool beer bar, by the way. Small, like that was the thing. A lot of the places we went into were big.
Yeah,
Like the Warped Wing Brewery was massive,
Like an
room.
airplane hangar almost.
It was like an airplane hangar, strangely enough. And but a lot of places had big places, and I could get into the bathrooms too, about these like fantastic bathrooms everywhere we went. That's a whole nother. We should just do an episode on brewery bathrooms. But
They're an important feature.
Good.
but
They
Barrel
are.
House was one of the smaller ones, and they had amazingly a great list. I mean, if I would have, we could have spent more than an hour there. And I don't even know what possessed me, because I was at that point, was about the midway point where I had about 5 or 6 beers at that point. And the Beer Wonder was buying around, and I was just kind of looked up and I was like, there's a black IPA. Let's have that. Because I hadn't seen a black IPA on any of the lists to that point. It was, I forget the name of the brewery. I'll get it in a second. But it was, I said, let's get the black IPA. And oh my gosh, one of the best I've had as far as black IPAs go, which, and I was going off about it on Beer Wonder while we were there. I'm like, it's not a black lager. It's not a porter. It's its own thing. It's not even an IPA. It's its own thing, bro. You know, like I was just like kind of going off a little bit.
If I recall correctly, that was the solar eclipse of the hop. For you.
Yes, very good. The total
Beautiful
eclipse.
name. Yeah.
Total eclipse of the hop black IPA from Southern Ohio Brewing.
Yep.
Southern.
Yes.
Are you familiar with that, Pat? Southern Ohio.
Yes. Yeah, just a little bit outside of Dayton in Beaver Creek.
Okay, Beaver
and
Creek. There you
one
go.
of several along the bike path.
Ah, all right. A really nice beer. So I expect that's a nice brewery overall. So that was my winner. But over at Blind Bob's, which was later on, it's kind of a rock venue. I mean, it is a rock venue. There was a hardcore band playing while we were there.
Oh yeah, it was good times.
And I had planned ahead. I knew what I was going to order, and it was a good thing because I was toasty at that point. This is near the very end of the crawl, and I don't know where everybody else was. I was sitting at the bar by myself. Oh, I know. People went to get jackets at the hotel.
Yes,
and we
that's true.
weren't all together. So it was just a Beer Wonder and I. And I said, "Oh, I know what I want. It's called Surf to Slope." And the bartender's like, "I don't know what that is." And then she turned to one of the other bartenders, Surf to Slope, and he's like, "Oh, yes." And he's digging in the bottom of the refrigerator and pulls out one of the cans. It was from Masthead out of Cleveland.
Yep.
And at that point, you know, when you're 8 beers in, 9 beers in, it's like,
this is 10.
maybe
Stop 10.
your flavor profile, your tasting tongue isn't quite there, but it popped at me like it was a New Zealand style Pilsner. And it was just like, oh, like I just got so excited about it. It just was a hoppy, crispy Pils out of a can too. And I was like, oh man. So that came a close second. There you go. I could go on, but please.
I actually want to talk
else.
a little bit more about that, but before we do, it looks like my glass is empty, so I'm going to do a second pour, and I have a feeling Huck might be near his as well. So before I got to Dayton, Huck and I and Cider Girl all spent some time in Cleveland, which we may talk about maybe we'll get her on to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to do. I'll check with her.
But on my way there, I stopped off in Akron at a favorite brewery of mine called Hop and Frog. Actually, I believe that, Doctor, you were the first person to bring a Hop and Frog beer on here. Back around episode 15, perhaps?
That sounds about right. Yes. I
Wildly
do
sweet
love
apple.
them. I love them. Yes.
And this is, I'm especially fond of their Imperial Stouts, but this one's a porter at a modest 5%. It is called Lil Smokin' Toad Porter.
Oh,
I picked up a 4-pack of that there, so I don't
is
know
it
if it's
supposed to be a
smoky.
smoky porter?
I certainly hope so. I'll be
I would.
disappointed if it's
It would be
not, but I'll
really
probably still like it anyway.
upsetting if it wasn't.
If it's a toad porter, that would be interesting.
Oh, it's and again,
If there were
dark,
actual toads, yeah.
Yes.
dark as it should be, which is good.
I think it was just the frog acknowledging its amphibian cousin.
That seems about right.
Possession of toad with intent to lick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know if it's that kind of a toad or not. He looks like he's
Yeah.
just barbecuing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if he's lickable or not. But all right, what do you have, Huck?
Oh, right on. Yeah, I got another beer. I like to, Doctor, if you don't know this, since I've been in California, I like to introduce breweries as much as I possibly can that we haven't had on the and I don't think that we've had Beechwood.
I don't think so.
Oh.
And this one looks like it's giving you instructions. Just looking at the can.
Pairs well with pizza. Italian, and I did a pizza last night, and also it's a collab with one of my favorites,
We do like a collab.
Cellar Maker out of San Francisco. They make this beer in I'll come up with it in a minute, but yeah, Beechwood. Haven't had them on before. Italian Pilsner, Italian style Pilsner, obviously.
I'm eager to hear about this one. It's speaking to my ethnic background.
Yes. As we discussed at
we
Lucky's.
we have been revealing our real names, so if you want to, it's okay.
It's Santucci.
Santucci. Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
pretty.
Mamma mia.
Good.
Very, very lovely.
Yep, it's really bubbling away.
Oh,
It's got
good.
the perfect look. Got a nice crispy head on there.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Beechwood. Pairs well with
Gorgeous.
pizza. Let's give it a shot.
That's what we hear.
Crisp. It's got a real like craft beer, like artisanal vibe to it.
I love that.
Easy drinking. A little straw aroma. I mean, that's a pounder. That can go down easy.
Yep.
Right on.
This one is indeed a smoked porter. It's delightful. It's a little more robust than you might expect for a 5%, and I like it a lot.
As
Right
you
on.
should.
Very first. It's rare that I'm trying something for the first time on the show, and even though I got a 4-pack, this is the first time I've tried this, and it's delightful. So I don't know if I know I stepped away for a second to get this beer, but I am curious. Have we talked about Beer Wonder's incredible record keeping that happened on all of this? Have we
We
acknowledged
have
that?
not yet. No.
No,
Or because
so
I know
no-
you were looking at it, but we haven't mentioned that you know in the interest of wonderful analog, reliable record keeping, you had a little book that you were writing everything in, and we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, and I want to just be clear. Early on, there was discussion that we'd just rely on Untapped, and we did find that Untapped in two ways was perhaps a little bit faulty with us here, right? In some cases, I think there were a couple beers that we weren't actually able to find on Untapped.
Right.
That's right.
Um,
I had a few of those.
A couple that only made it their way in. But second, Untapped got real judgy. First with the Huckster, and then with me. Huck, and this happened, if I'm not mistaken, while you were at the beloved and blessed Blind Bob's. Now, as everyone who's been listening for a hot moment knows, I have a deep affinity for Blind Bob's. This was actually my third visit. My first ones were in 2012 and 2013, so it was a nearly 13-year hiatus. It was delightful
And
to be back.
precedes the Golden Mile.
Proceeds, yeah. So every time Bulk comes on, I do have to check on how Blind Bob's was. Thankfully, this time I don't, because I checked on it myself. It was doing great, and their fried pickles were fantastic. But while you were sitting at Blind Bob's, the Huckster, you checked in a beer, and something came up, if I'm not mistaken, on your Untapped.
Yeah, for sure. And I honestly forget the name of the. Do you remember
Take
the
it
name of
easy.
It's called
Take It Easy.
Easy.
The Take It Easy badge,
Yeah.
which had never gotten. None of us have ever gotten
No.
that badge. I don't think. Now, for those of you that don't know, Untapped is a beer plate where you
App.
can log your beers. You can look up information about beers. It's a great beer resource, but also
Yes.
you can remember your beers, and then later when you can't remember what you had, there it is
Yep.
on the Untapped.
Yeah.
And we had been checking in. Well, I had been checking in. I told the captain I had 11 beers, but he's like, "Did you? Because you had a flight, and then you had another flight." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, technically I had 16 beers, but
Right.
they were 5-ounce pours." So I was like counting them like one flight as a beer. But he's not wrong. And also, I was
Well, that's
logging them in.
That's how Untapped did their math. Yeah, they like
Yeah.
I was
you log
logging
in
them in.
for yeah.
So by the time I was at Blind Bob's, that was probably 12 beers they saw that I drank in the day. And so they sent me the badge. Take it easy.
Yep.
I don't
that
know
was
if
funny.
you've been logging these in as you drink them, but maybe you should seek counseling.
Yeah, and
It's
and
kind
I,
of an
Yeah.
unofficial Golden Mile badge, really.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was
really
a golden. It should be a golden
Yeah.
mile badge.
you
for
do
sure.
earn it. I also was later judged by our friends at Untapped for my indulgences as well. And so while they continue to be a great resource, and again, if you're not on Untapped, come and find us and see what we drank. You can see in mostly real time. I carried around a small brown paper book all evening and passed it around with a pen and encouraged anybody who wanted to write down their beers just so that we had a paper record as well, just in case we couldn't find something or Untapped or something went wrong or there was but I will say this while this was a great resource and we're happy to have the record at this point, it's a nice little memento of the thing. Having a physical object and drinking heavily can also be a moment of peril, because at one point our little book went missing.
Oh, yes.
yeah. Yeah.
We had a mild incident at Warped Wing when I discovered that the book was no longer in my presence. Now, thankfully, friends at Barrel House were nearby, so I bounced back,
You went
Uh,
back.
joined them for a little bit of Show Tunes karaoke for a hot
Oh,
second.
yes. We'll
I-
have to talk
I-
about that at some point.
I did not perform, should have, but there's other options. There are other times. We'll have to go back. And a very, very kind member of the staff had actually found the book and kind of stuffed it under a little paperweight, and so I was just able to snag it and bring it right back. So
Perfect.
big thanks to our friends at Barrel House for taking care of our little blessed book here
Great
and
folks.
keeping us on the straight and narrow.
Now, if I may,
Excellent. What-
if I may
Yeah.
interrupt, I see that Dr. Beer Nerd is looking a little. He might be starting to turn green.
Oh no,
Is his
He's-
shirt? His
Oh,
shirt might
gosh.
be.
I'm
He's-
empty.
I don't want to rip that Beer Avengers shirt, so I think
Oh,
we
no.
better turn it over to him for a
You
second.
wouldn't like me when I'm empty.
oh boy.
No, we wouldn't. So yes, fill up.
Here we are from Fifth Street Brew Pub and
Oh,
Oak
yes.
Aged Ramona.
Lovely.
There's no surprise for me here. I really quite like this. Unlike most aged beers, which pick up a lot of the whatever was originally in the barrel, this is mostly oak. It's a brown ale with just a little bit of oak essence. Really nice.
I'm
Amazing.
gonna hold it
Now,
up just a little bit further. If
Oh,
you would.
yeah.
Yeah.
In case folks don't remember, because I believe you mentioned this on other beer casts, you are a co-op member of the Fifth Street Brew Pub, correct?
That is correct. Yes,
Yeah,
we
so-
are now the oldest surviving cooperative brew pub in the U.S. So,
Yeah, we want to get that
Oh,
photo.
yeah.
Hold, yeah, with
With
the
the bottle.
with the bottle together.
Hi.
Yes.
see,
It's
this is I
okay.
don't do it often enough.
This is
So,
what
Oh,
happens
this
when we
is the
drink.
ball coming
Yes.
out now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all right. Beautiful. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. There was a thought that was happening there about the co-op nature of the,
yeah, yeah.
Of the enterprise.
Well, and part of the reason that's why we started, I mean, I hope to include that was also to continue to support this really cool kind of community focused brewery that also had excellent food. We brunched there along
Yes,
with our
we
first
did.
beers. Mhm.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and I'll encourage any listener and anyone anywhere to look into co-op ownership models, whatever it is that's in your community that's owned and operated that way. If you have any need for their service or product, consider them first. It's a great way to do things.
And
Agreed.
Tell us a little bit more about the Ramona.
Yeah.
This
the
was
lager.
it is a nut brown or a brown ale.
Oh,
And it's one of the original 5 beers that Fifth Street Brew Pub launched with our own
Mm.
recipes. One of only, I think there are 3 that are still being made on a regular basis.
Cool.
But with some additional capacity and efficiencies lately, they've had some room to experiment and do some bottle series. And this is one of those. We've also had unfortunately, none were available during the Golden Mile. A really terrific recent run of the Farmhouse Rough Gem beer.
I had that one. Well, technically.
Infused with citrus, which we get from New
Oh.
Jersey, because that's where you go for citrus. There is actually a
Yeah.
boutique hothouse grower, and so the 4 were Meyer Lemon, Caracara Orange, Buddha's Hand, and Bergamot.
Yes.
The citrus
Very
which flavors
cool.
Earl Grey tea. Man,
Yes.
that's a nice one. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry we couldn't have them on, but we drank them all. We the street members.
Well, the one I had there was certainly a highlight. It was a coffee version of the JoJo's Stout.
Midnight.
Yeah, that was really good. That was one of the ones I couldn't find on Untapped, and I just didn't have patience to add my own entry, but it certainly was one that was really good. Yeah, and the things we were talking. I know. I think we should continue to talk about highlights, or if we want to name the best beer. Did you actually already do that, Huck?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you say
I
that
did.
was
I
your
was the
best
only
one?
one who did it.
Okay, well, I will say for me, I have a hard time. I know you're really big on lists, and I respect that. I only was able to record 7 of mine, so I might actually move to Beer Wonder for some clarification on this one. For me, if I'm trying to find best, sometimes it comes down to most unique. Like I would never discount the incredible 14%. Wasn't a barley wine. The one I had at Branch and Bone. What was that? It was an Imperial Stout, Doctor?
Yes, you had the double barrel Feral Beast.
Yes.
And it was really fantastic.
Wow.
It was great,
Wow.
yeah. And it was like it's exactly what I expected. I was like, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted. But there were a couple things I had that were like, oh, this is even better than I might have thought. And first one was, well, because your wife, Kate, now known as Saison Witch,
Yes, we forgot. There was
had
a naming.
Yeah.
had recommended this one. I think it's a Baltic Porter at Little Fish. Is it that one in your
Yes.
book, or did I just
had that one
write some
too.
nonsense letters in there?
No, that one. I mean, look, the handwriting in the book gets worse as the night goes on, but that only stands to reason. I believe that yours was nope, it was the green. Nope, that's me. That it was the Kalsari Kanit Baltic Porter.
Which is a Finnish word for
Sadi
pants
comic.
drunk or drinking in your underwear. Which is funny because for me that would be dressing up to have my beer because
Hello.
when I'm in my apartment, it's it's like, oh, this is fancy. I'll put on some underwear because I'm a habitual nudist at home. But that's maybe more information than you needed. I don't know. It shouldn't be. It's nothing gross about that. It's just some people do it.
It's just as God made you.
But the one that really struck me was the Warped Wing Killer Brownie Brown. Because Warped Wing does a lot of things with local businesses. They do Esther Price, which is a local chocolatier right down the street from the doctor. And they do a number of them. Killer Brownie is something that started by Dorothy Lane Market right around the time I was leaving Dayton. So it wasn't a tradition from my childhood, but my mother quickly made it a tradition. And anytime I would go home or anytime she had people over, Killer Brownies from Dorothy Lane Market, which she was always getting. It is now distributed nationwide, including, and the one I was looking this up today in New York City. It's mostly seems to be at Morton Williams supermarkets.
Oh, okay.
But it was really cool. I saw like, well, I've got to get the Killer Brownie Brown, and everyone knows how I am about like some of the pastryist beers. This one was just the smell, it smelled exactly like the brownie, and I tasted it, and it was just not in any way overly sweet. And this is a big confection thing. It's like a brick with these like thick layers. We actually picked some up the night after the crawl.
Next day.
We did. They were delicious.
But you don't eat a whole one of these things. You have to cut them up into pieces and share them. And they've got these like layers of caramel and you could. There's like layers of caramel and nuts and whole chocolate chips in
fantastic.
there. But the beer got the essence of that without pushing too far on the sweetness. And it was, since that one was like, I was hoping it would be good, but it was even better than I'd hoped for. So that would be probably my number one highlight note of the beers I tried.
Very cool.
Beer Wonder.
I mean, gosh, it was a spectacular, set of beers. Only one that I didn't really want to finish. So that's always a good option for me. So everything else was really great, but
Strangely didn't have any of those. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it happened at an auspicious location, an underground cavern that one must enter by solving a riddle, one might even say.
Okay.
So there were, I guess, multiple factors, but the beer just wasn't very good. But the top beer for me actually came from our friends at Little Fish as well. And it was one of their IPAs. They had a couple different ones. It was called the Shirt Bros, and it had a weird end of aftertaste. And I actually passed it around because it was so cool.
you had us taste it. It was unique.
It was almost like dill up your nose. It was really cool. I was trying to nail down some of the hops on it. I don't think it was Sriracha Ace, which is usually
Some
the one
kind
I
of
associate with
magic,
dill.
yeah.
Yeah. But it was so good that when we went back for dinner the next day, I had it again just so I could enjoy it. It still worked that magic. So that was a real highlight. But close second, and a brewery that I just was enchanted by. And I mean, they were early on in the crawl too, so I got a chance to really feel their beers without a lot of effect. But it was one of those ones that left me wanting more. Was our friends at Branch and Bone. I had their Gilded with Gold Hazy Pale Ale that was just a thing of magic. It was like a 3-flavor story in a pale ale. So that means that we're having to balance a lot of that grain with the hops, right? And so for me, that was just a really magical beer. I really enjoyed it. It was early on. It kind of set me up for a really high bar for everything. And it made me really want more of their brews. Also, their shirts, and I can't remember what their shirts say, but I wanted the shirt as a sticker. And it was just a shirt, not the sticker. And I wasn't really I'm not a t-shirt person except for my Beer Avengers uniform, which of course is essential. But otherwise I just wanted the sticker because I wanted to stick it on my glass. So if you're listening out there, Branch and Bone, first off, amazing. Second, please turn your t-shirt logo into a sticker and maybe send a couple to Gotham. That'd be cool. Thanks.
I know some people. We'll see what can be done.
Well, I'm reading the style guide on Shirt Brothers. It's got a lot of different things. It's gluten reduced.
Yep.
Which is something. There's also as a heliogazer, a thiolized. I've heard that word before.
I have too.
Thiolized British ale strain.
Yeah.
Fermented with that. So that's the yeast. And then it's got Azacca Cryopop blend. And after fermentation, dry hopped with Cryopop, Simcoe, and Sabro. So there's a lot that happened to this particular beer before it finished. So somewhere in there, it has that magic poof at the. That's the only way to describe it. Like a magician
really
when something goes up.
Was incredible. Like I don't know how else to explain it. It just like felt like something kind of tickled the back of your throat and went up your nose. It was so beautiful.
I had forgotten about that when we went back for dinner, or I would have tried it again because that was so unique.
I didn't feel like sharing. Sorry, I was
I know, but I would have got my own. Yeah, I just didn't think of it.
I almost actually got a crowler of it to bring home, but realized
they did have crowlers there. Yeah.
But I do actually want to know, well, because you were about to jump in, but I do want to know a bit more about Branch and Bone, because you said you know people there. Like, that was such a cool, interesting,
very
creative brewery. And I was so happy we went and wished we had more time, because I would have loved to explore so many more of their things.
Yeah.
Brett, the head brewer and proprietor there, started it as specifically a home for open fermentation and spontaneous beers, and branched out a lot, and also has really good technique in being able to make that he can make any beer, or in now ciders and wines, he wants, instead of the old homebrew saying if you make a traditional open, that's all you're going to make those forever.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I even know some breweries who once they decide to go that way, they make it a separate brewery. Or they'll make it a whole separate room where they were like, okay, this is where the wild stuff happens, and everywhere else, because for that very reason.
He's just exceedingly talented, and although the ownership model isn't co-op or anything special like that, the staff are very dedicated, very well taken care of. It's kind of acts as a family operation, and everything is. We want a particular flavor. We want it to happen at its time. We're not going to have food. It's kind of everything is an experiment, including the old standbys that were well accepted. The next batch, we're going to try and make it a little bit better every time.
I love that. Gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
They made a mead. They made their own cider. I mean, had a lot going on.
And it's not a large place. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
the brewing operation in the back, of course, is the majority, but for the amount of output and amount of variety, they really do punch above their weight. In
Yeah.
fact, my favorite of the mile was a Branch and Bone as well. The
Mhm.
Mitch and Murray on the gravity of the beer engine.
Yeah.
So real
Oh,
ale,
yes,
not
yes.
forced carbonated.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
very
noticed that.
simple. It won't shock you.
It was an English
So
mile.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that, and I saw him. I guess I must have seen him pouring your beer, and I was like, "Oh, that they have cask ale here. Well, it's fantastic." And because you don't see that in many places.
Yeah, and it is a regular
Very
feature
cool.
at Branch and Bone. Not a guarantee, but they do try and keep at least one going, and it's a suitable style for that. So
Just real quick, the Take It Easy badge. It has an image of 3 beer bottles where you're seeing too many at the same time, and but it's not as judgy as we judged it.
Yeah.
It says either
Oh,
you
when you're
must
10
be
beers in, you can get a little sensitive.
either you must be sampling or really like beer.
Yeah.
That's 12 beers in one day.
There's judgment
Yeah.
in there. I hear
A
it.
little bit.
you
But
can
they say-
only earn it once.
Well, you
so-
really like beer. Of course,
it.
I really like beer. I'm checking them in on Untapped.
Wait, you can only earn it once? Is that the truth?
Yes, you only get
Oh, wow.
one level of Take It Easy.
Oh,
I think-
that's interesting.
I think in order to not make it a dare thing, like it's like,
Yeah. That
oh
makes
yeah,
sense.
well I've had 12 beers in one day, 12 times.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm
Like,
level
I
12.
want to
yeah.
get to level 2. Yeah.
But no, I do remember when because you mentioned that Branch and Bone wasn't on there at the very beginning. I remember you be very excited when they were opening,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because that was the first year you had exactly 50% breweries on the list.
And one of those that made up that original 50% has since left us.
Wow.
Lock
Yes, Lock
27 is no
27.
longer downtown. Yeah.
So does that
Well-
mean only? Is there a sixth one, or is it
Little
are-
Fish came up as
Little
Lock
Fish-
27 went out.
Right.
So yeah, we
Yeah.
1 for 1.
Yes, that was a place that you would you had taken me there specifically shortly after they opened because it wasn't on the crawl and you wanted to share it with me. And
Yeah.
so at least we still have 6. Very good.
I
Well,
know
this
where I'm
is
going
the-
tomorrow for a Shirt Bros because I haven't
yeah.
had that. So
Yeah. Now you got to go over there for that.
yeah, gotta.
Well, I don't know, fellas. You think
Well,
we should do maybe do a part 2 because there's so
well,
much to talk about.
I appreciate that, but I do feel like we do need to hear the captain's top beer.
Oh, my!
Before we
Well,
go-
I had said the Killer Brownie was the one that
Yeah.
I
Right.
had-
Yes.
I'd
Yes.
said.
Yes.
Yeah. Although if I'm going to add another one, it was from our
Hmm.
dinner at Little Fish the next night.
Sure.
I mean, I won't go too much into this because we love Little Fish and their beers are wonderful and they're following us. They were a little crowded and a little stressed, so we went back the second night, the day after the crawl, to have dinner there. And there was a beer that I had before, which is the main reason I chose the Pants Drunk one. Also, it was really good beer. I wanted to try something, but there was an amazing beer I'd forgotten how good it was from when I went there once before with the doctor. Is their Pinch Gue, which is is like a Mexican hot chocolate imperial stout, and I think that you every time we were there, you tell me what it is, and I try and remember, and sometimes I forget, but I think I finally remember. Basically, it just means fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's the best translation.
Yeah, and
Pinche güey.
yeah, fuck that guy. So yeah, I think we should do a part 2 and maybe bring
That
on the
sounds-
other people who are with us on the mile. But before we do, I mean, since we're going to focus on them on that episode, do Huck and Beer Wonder, do you have any final thoughts on because you've been hearing us talk about this for years. In what ways did it surprise you? What you didn't expect? How was it being a first timer on the mile?
Yeah. I mean, I had a blast. And having heard you talk about it before, I've always been like, yes, I'd like to do that because I love beer crawls. And to go on one so epic, I will
Yep.
say, it was almost like I went on some, how people talk about going like on an ayahuasca trip
Yeah.
and they're changed afterwards. I feel like I've unlocked, speaking of like badges on Untapped, I've unlocked a power in myself
Yeah.
after this to have 11/16 beers in one day. And at my age, I'm 58. I'm going on 59. I feel like I've unlocked a beer drinking power that because I've been living the lager life recently, trying to
Yep.
take it easy. I don't know that I need to do that. I can handle it. I have the power. So thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Golden Mile. You have opened up my world. The pale male is rising. And shall I haven't stopped drinking beer since I've had at least a beer every day. It's this might not be. Is Untapped listening? They might be like, okay.
I don't know. I feel like after the Untapped story, I
what-
think we need to be able to give them a badge, and that's the stay in your lane badge.
Yes, because
Anyway.
that's an honor. So wonderful to hear. Thank you.
It really was a blast. Totally worth the trip. We also went to Cleveland, had a great time there. I've been looking forward to it for so long, and to actually do it. And I said to the cider girl, I was like, I would do that again. I think I would do it again.
I know that's hard to follow,
is,
but
if I may,
Oh, yeah.
just the day we came back to Fresno, I went to a new doctor, and I had my, how you get your bloods done and they check your levels
Yeah.
and stuff. And he's like, he actually said, liver looks great.
there you go.
I'm like, hell yeah, let's party.
I've been
Keep up the good
exercising.
Yeah.
So between the Golden Mile and this doctor visit, I feel like I'm invincible. Talk about superpowers.
Well, as hard as that
How
might
about
be
you,
to
Beer
follow.
Wonder?
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, look, it was the most fun. It was first incredible to get to meet the Incredulous Bulk and the Saison Witch. in
And the
person.
Saison Witch.
I
The
mean,
Saison
it's-
Witch was pretty cool.
Yep. We stayed in a spectacular location.
In Port Lodging.
In Port Lodging with our delightful Lindsay, innkeeper to the stars, because we're stars, and also to go back to the Oregon District was incredible. But the thing for me is that, like, look, 12 beers, 12 hours, 12 bars, that is a journey. It was 15,000 steps for me, and I'm proud of that. But also pace yourself. Here's the thing. It is a journey. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Enjoy it, make friends, and find the fun in it. Because if nothing else, drinking is about bringing people together. And boy, oh boy, Bulk, did you do this over 12 hours. So thank you for including us as a part of this and for making this thing happen. I cannot wait for the next one.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, as always.
Excellent. I think that's a wonderful end to note it on, as always. And we will be and so because we have to start recording part 2 very shortly, and you'll be hearing that as soon as I feel like getting it out there.
Yep.
So thanks everyone for listening. Huck, why don't you play us out?
We're the beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. We're the beer Vengers, we're the beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers.
With Avengers?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sure.